Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I'm David Lam, sitting in for Liang Zhang. Here's a preview of some of today's stories. A cryptocurrency exchange founder has been granted a multi-million-dollar bond and house arrest. He is accused of swindling investors. A Northern California county is banning background checks for housing applications. Officials say it's to help formerly incarcerated people apply for housing. The Attorney General is warning people to watch out for scams this holiday season. He gave 8 tips for protecting your online information. A cryptocurrency exchange founder was granted a multi-million-dollar bond and house arrest. He is accused of swindling investors and looting customer deposits.
A judge granted cryptocurrency entrepreneur Sam Bankman-Fried a $250 million bond and house arrest in his parents' home in Palo Alto, California, while he awaits trial. Bankman-Fried has been accused of 8 charges of money laundering and fraud on his FTX trading platform. He was released Thursday after an electronic monitoring device was attached. In the U.S. District Court in New York, Assistant U.S. Attorney Nicholas Roos said that the 30-year-old, quote, perpetrated a fraud of epic proportions. The judge largely agreed to bail terms proposed by lawyers on both sides.
A county in Northern California would be the first to get rid of background checks for housing. There's both support from former incarcerated people and landlords who are against it.
Alameda County would be the first county in the U.S. to ban criminal background checks for housing. The Board of Supervisors voted 4-0 on Tuesday to adopt a measure called the Fair Chance Ordinance. The goal of the ordinance is to try alleviating the worsening homeless situation by increasing housing access for formerly incarcerated individuals and their families. This means landlords would not be allowed to include criminal records when considering prospective tenants.
I really want to get to a solution for people who have been formerly incarcerated to get a place to live. Right now, I understand nobody will rent to somebody who has paid their debt to society. That's why when we talked about this last time, we had questions about the legality of what we're attempting to do.
But Seneca Scott, a former candidate running for Oakland mayor and an Alameda County resident, tells NTD he believes it may be a bad idea.
Now we don't know where the money's going to come from. And so we're looking around who's going to be targeted. Mom and pop property owner, who's many of us in Alameda County haven't been paid rent from tenants in 3 years. And now you don't have the ability to even see if your tenant has committed a violent crime or not. Think about that.
During the board meeting, supporters and opponents shared their views on the ordinance.
I have a job, I work, I have good credit, and my lease is up in 3 months. And I gotta go find housing and play Russian roulette and see if this person does a criminal background check on me. I will not pass that.
This is not good for the society. If criminal moved in my house, I have no control over it. I cannot evict him. And I still have to bear the cost, and, it's not good for my neighborhood as well.
The law is expected to take effect after Alameda County's eviction moratorium expires.
Police are warning residents in Southern California about the increase in violent bank robberies, especially during the holidays. They're advising people to stay alert and be aware of their surroundings.
Police in Southern California are warning the public about an increase of violent bank jugging robberies. According to the Burbank Police Department, bank jugging is, quote, the term used to describe the common practice of criminals who sit in bank parking lots and watch customers come and go. These criminals then, quote, typically target those carrying bank envelopes, money bags, and/or coin boxes. Burbank Police Lieutenant Derek Green tells KTLA that these crimes are dangerous. He says the crime is usually when a group of people follow unsuspecting victims to a bank and wait for them to withdraw a large amount of cash. Once the victim leaves the bank, they follow them to their intended destination. Police say both bank jugging and follow-home robberies are on the rise. Unsuspecting victims of bank jugging are sometimes followed home and then burglarized. To avoid being a target of a bank visit, police urge the public to be aware of their surroundings, conceal money before entering and exiting a bank, and do not leave any bank envelopes, money bags, or coin boxes in vehicles. If you suspect you're being followed, call the police immediately.
While California is ranked as one of the least generous states in the nation, the need for charitable giving remains high due to inflation. This year, Attorney General Rob Bonta offered 8 tips on how to donate safely and avoid charity fraud. Charities rely heavily on the goodwill of people to operate and serve individuals with diverse backgrounds, but charity fraud has become more common across the nation. California Attorney General Rob Bonta gave 8 tips for protecting yourself this holiday season. First, he recommends confirming that the charity you want to donate to is registered and up to date with its financial reporting. Give to organizations you know and trust. If telemarketers reach out to you, don't feel pressured to donate. And when clicking into links, be cautious of lookalike websites and emails. Bonta gave an example of a common scam website used to trick potential donors or steal information.
We all love UNICEF and they do great work, but there was a fraudulent organization called UNICEF COVID-19 Relief.com. We had to shut that down.
He adds that these fake websites tend to have similar sounding names to official donation websites. Similarly, he warns to never assume charitable fundraisers that you see on social media are legitimate. Always do your research and see how much of the donated money is going to the intended recipient.
There was an individual who claimed to be raising money for a homeless man. He raised $400,000 on GoFundMe. It did not go to the homeless man. It was a scam.
Bonta also reminds people to never give out your personal information, such as social security numbers. And finally, he recommends people to always check their credit card statements to make sure transactions are correct. Bonta says he doesn't want people to be scared about giving. The tips are intended to help people give and make sure the funds do reach the intended source.
I do not want the key message to be lost, that I want you to give. I want you to be generous. I want your hearts to be big and to help our neighbors.
For more information about the tips, people can check the State Department of Justice website at oag.ca.gov. Now we're going to take a short break, but here's a look at what we've got for you when we come back. An annual First Christmas reenactment is back in the Bay Area, but organizers say this year may be the last time they're holding the tradition. As people do some last-minute Christmas shopping, Beverly Hills offers multiple luxury options. People with some cash to spend can buy anything from cashmere to alligator purses. One Southern California family has a house decorating tradition during the holidays. This year, they won first place for their colorful lights display. That and more on California Today. Welcome back to California Today. I'm your host, David Lamb. Since 1992, an ensemble of volunteers reenact the night of the first Christmas to celebrate the real meaning and history behind the holiday. This year marks the last time the Bethlehem AD will be keeping their tradition in one California city. Speak much of Messiah. This is Bethlehem AD, a live recreation commemorating the birth of Jesus. It's set to close after running for 30 years in Redwood City, California. Representatives said that the land was recently sold and told SF Gate that there are no plans for it to continue unless things change and someone new wants to continue the annual event elsewhere. So right now it's a couple hours before the event starts and the crew is setting up before the 6 p.m. show. Now here we have Paula Dresden, the creative director behind Bethlehem AD.
Hello.
Hi Paula, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for coming by.
So this is the last show for Bethlehem AD after 30 years. Could you tell me what this means to you?
Well, obviously I believe that the Christmas story is one that everyone should know because it's when God revealed himself in the flesh. So I try to tell the story in its historical context. We show just how he had it all planned out. Because the God that I love is a God who is very creative.
But the child.
Bethlehem AD is one of the largest living nativity scene in the U.S., featuring over 300 volunteers dressed as soldiers, merchants, angels, and more. The free community event includes singing, a marketplace, and animals such as camels, sheep, donkeys, and horses. It's a free 20-minute interactive walkthrough experience, rain or shine, hosted by Rise City Church. According to Bethlehem AD, the event takes people 2,000 years back in history to ancient Bethlehem. The idea first came from a 12-year-old boy who one night asked his dad if it's possible to create a real nativity. The reenactment takes place from December 21st to 23rd and draws in 25,000 visitors each year.
What I really like doing is setting up a stage the best I can, and then let the participants become the creative people on that stage. So if I have an idea, I'll bring it forth and I'll discuss it with others so that maybe they can bring in more ideas. And all together, working together and talking about things, we come up with a nice game plan. And that's how I work.
Now, the nonprofit's website says that if anyone's searching for the real meaning of Christmas, they can find it inside the walls of Bethlehem AD. More information can be found on their website, as well as a full recording of the event. Now, the creative director also told us, even though the event is ending this year, they're still going to try to find a way for the community and volunteers to come together moving forward. Reporting in Redwood City, David Lamb, NCD News. Christmas is just around the corner, and in a coastal city in Southern California, there is an annual tradition of having a Christmas lights parade on boats. Let's take a look at how this boat parade began and how it transforms the seaside into a festive celebration.
In 1907, 9 boaters in Newport Beach decided to celebrate Christmas by decorating their boats with lights. They decorated canoes and gondolas with Japanese lanterns. It's been 114 years since the first Newport Beach Christmas boat parade. It lasts for several days in December. This year, it took place December 14th through the 18th with around 150 participating boats. The harbor comes alive and becomes a Christmas wonderland on water with yachts, docks, and homes. They illuminate every inch of the landscape in Newport Harbor. The boat parade is one of the largest. Over 1.5 million people watch it during the holiday season. So for next year's holiday season, make sure to mark your calendars so you do not miss out. As for those who missed out and would like to experience some of the wonder, there are nightly holiday lights cruises from December 19th to the 31st. The tours go around the beautiful decorated bayfront homes in Newport Beach Harbor. The tour lasts about 75 minutes. To find out more, visit the Christmas Parade Boats website.
Dazzling diamond jewelry, alligator purses, and cashmere clothing are offered with those with cash to splash in Beverly Hills this holiday season. The luxury end of the market is still attracting business this year, despite the eye-watering price tags and concerns about the economy.
Looking for a luxury gift this holiday season? How about this necklace made of 18K white gold with more than 600 diamond pieces totaling 102 carats? It's yours for $520,000. Or perhaps this yellow gold phantom watch set with 22.5 carats of paved diamonds and over 2,000 full-cut round diamonds. It's on sale for $395,000. Beverly Hills is America's luxury capital in a city where shopping is the #1 tourist attraction. Here, the expensive and extravagant can be found for the person who has everything. Despite concerns of inflation and higher prices, the National Retail Federation still expects spending to be healthy.
They're willing to spend the money for the families, the holidays. There's an estimate of somewhere between 6 and 8% increase over a year ago, and last year it was a 13.5% increase from the previous year. There's a total of retail sales of about $4.9 trillion this year. There's an estimated 90,000 packages a day that are going to be sent throughout the FedEx, U.S. Postal Service, UPS.
At Neiman Marcus, the Dallas-based luxury retailer since 1907, the most expensive gift in the catalog is a 1935 Cartier tiara, which can be turned into a necklace. It has a total of 50 carats and includes 600 diamonds, all for the price of $3.2 million. Lily Boss, the mayor of Beverly Hills, says people are actually excited about the holidays this year.
Well, the business owners are telling me that this is a really positive year for them. I think people are just really excited to be back out again. So they're in the stores, they're not online, they're out in the stores and shopping and really having a very, very happy experience to be out doing, what they do in the holiday season.
The House of Bijan on Rodeo Drive claims to be the most expensive menswear store in the world. A double pure cashmere topcoat for men costs $21,000. The limited edition handcrafted alligator purse is $168,000. It's lined with kangaroo leather and has over 2,100 individual diamonds. There's only one purse made in each available color. A king-size fur bedspread with a pure cashmere lining goes for $110,000. 3,000 Bijan tie designs are made each year, but only 2 ties ever share the same pattern. The National Retail Federation predicts this holiday season to rake up between $940 billion to $960 billion. Holiday sales last year totaled over $889 billion, breaking all earlier records.
Now, speaking of dazzling, for over a decade, one Southern California family has had a labor of love decorating their home for the holidays. Their home lights up each night with an animated light show that is synced to music.
For over 12 years, the Harbeck family has decorated their home for the holidays with a light show that is synced to music. Anyone can pass by and tune in to 99.1 FM to listen, or come up close to the house. A giant pixel display shows characters from video games like Pac-Man and Mario to Christmas classics like Santa Claus and Rudolph. The family consists of Andy and Tatiana Harbeck and their 2 teenage sons. They design and create most of the props. Their decorations are 3D printed, which can take hours to make each design. Andy, who is an animator, created a Christmas character named Winston the Wisp, who is showcased in the animated light show. Other decorations include angel wings made of recycled water bottles. This year, the family won first place and a cash prize of $50,000 on ABC's The Great Christmas Lights Fight, a reality show competition for the best Christmas lights. Last year, they had over 30,000 lights and spent hundreds of hours making the decorations. The Harbeck Lights Christmas Show is free to the public and is located at 1215 Tropical Avenue, Pasadena, California, and it will run until January 2nd, 2023.
Now to NTD's Thomas Christian for an update on sports.
I'm Thomas Christian, giving you the California Today Sports Roundup. San Francisco 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy and running back Christian McCaffrey were both limited in practice Wednesday. Purdy is dealing with a persistent oblique and rib injury that he sustained in Week 14 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. McCaffrey has been limited in practice for 4 straight weeks because of a knee issue. However, neither injury has held back these two, as McCaffrey has averaged 24.3 touches and 145.7 yards from scrimmage, either through the air or on the ground. Meanwhile, Purdy is having the debut of a lifetime, winning his first 2 starts in convincing fashion and throwing 4 touchdown passes to no interceptions in that time. At At 10-4 and in first place in the NFC West, the 49ers are looking to take hold of the NFC in the final stretch of their regular season, but will need these two close to 100% to even have a chance on the offensive side of the field. Counting in their favor is they will be coming off an extended period of rest after beating the Seattle Seahawks on Thursday. The Brooklyn Nets routed the Golden State Warriors 143-113 on Wednesday to send the reigning champions staggering home with their second blowout loss in 2 nights in New York. The Nets scored 91 points in the first half of the game, which is the third most points ever scored in a first half in NBA history. The game was over not long before it started, with Brooklyn closing out the first quarter with a massive lead, 46-17. Warriors fans will still be able to sleep at night as the squad was missing its 3 best players in Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Andrew Wiggins. James Wiseman scored a career-high 30 points on 12 of 14 shooting for the Warriors. The Nets matched a franchise record with 9 players in double figures and won their 7th straight, even with Kyrie Irving out with right calf tightness. Kevin Durant led Brooklyn with 23 points. Nets 143, Warriors 113. Paul George scored 22 points, Nicholas Batum added 21, and the injury-ravaged Los Angeles Clippers had their whole roster available in a 126-105 victory over the Charlotte Hornets. George, Ivica Zubac, Reggie Jackson, and Norman Powell all returned to the lineup, with Powell making his first appearance since November 29 after missing 10 games because of a groin injury. After the entire roster practiced together for the first time Tuesday, the Clippers shot 50.6% from the field and held the Hornets to 40.2%. Clippers 126, Hornets 105. Domantas Sabonis had 13 points, 21 rebounds, and 12 assists to lead the Sacramento Kings to a 134-120 win over the LA Lakers. Sabonis recorded his second triple-double of the season to go along with 9 straight double-doubles and his NBA-leading 22 double-doubles this year. All of Sacramento's starters scored in double figures. Rookie Keegan Murray matched his career high with 23 points. Kevin Huerter scored 26, and Harrison Barnes added 20. De'Aaron Fox paced Sacramento with 22 and 6. However, he was ejected with 3:09 left in the game after receiving 2 technical fouls. LeBron James led the Lakers with 31 points. They were missing Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis. The Kings now have consecutive wins over the Lakers in a season for the first time since 2015, when Sacramento won all 4 against Los Angeles. After an 0-4 start to the season, Sacramento has won 17 of 26. The Kings are now in 6th place, while the Lakers reside in 13th in the Western Conference. Kings 134, Lakers 120.
And that's all for sports.
That's all we've got for you tonight. We'd like for you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8:30 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts on our California Today webpage. You can find it at ntd.com/California-Today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with friends and family. You can send us a message on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or through our email at california.today@ntd.com. I'm David Lamb, sitting in for Liang Zhang. Have a wonderful evening.